ladies and gentlemen, to bring to the stage this man. I am so honored. He's the greatest speaker I have ever heard in my life. He's the greatest living motivator, and I am so honored. He has spoken to kings and queens. He's spoken to presidents, executives from Fortune 500 companies. He's done it all. He's been a radio host, a TV host. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet for the legend, Les Brown!
Ladies and gentlemen, do not sit down. Let's give a standing ovation to Jason. Give him a tremendous round of applause. Wow. He is so gifted. You may be seated. He is so gifted, and I feel so very blessed to have the honor of having him introduce me. And no one can do it like he does. I want to take him on the road. Somebody say, bring him back. I know. I'm so excited. Joe and Aaron, where are you? Let's give them a round of applause. You have such incredible leadership here. Steve and Shannon, give them a round of applause. And the legendary Dr. Nagasawa, give him a tremendous round of applause. Yeah. And I want you, because you showed up, because you're demonstrating your commitment and your vision, give yourselves a round of applause. I want you to, right now, I want you to think about something that's important to you, some major goal that you'd like to achieve. And as you think about that and envision that, and this time that we spend together, I want you to think about three major goals. And I reflect on that quite often because of the experiences in my life. My first major goal was to buy my mother a home. I'm adopted. I'm one of 7 children that she adopted. I'm on the stage because of 2 women. One gave me life, the other one gave me love. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And as a kid, my vision was, I wanted to buy my mother a home. She worked for wealthy families on Miami Beach. She cooked for them, and we ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for, Aaron. She kept their children, and we wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children that she kept, Steve. And as a kid, I was walking around these big, beautiful mansions, and I said, Mama. And she said, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. How many of you have somebody special you'd like to do something for? Raise your hands, please. Very good. I'm going to share with you how you can make that happen. Next thing is, I want you to think about your financial freedom number. That once you achieve that it will alleviate a lot of stress in your life. Once you achieve that, it would give you the opportunity to contribute to things that you believe in, causes that you support. Once you achieve that, give you more time for yourself, for your family, and the projects that's in your heart. You know, people say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. A friend of mine, Rita Davenport, said money ain't important, but it's right up there with oxygen. You know? And let me tell you something, fellas, even if you're as homeless as I am, you got some money, women will find something cute on you. Oh, my boyfriend's got eyelashes like Tom Cruise, honey. I used to be so broke, I'd walk past the bank and trip the alarm. Creditors would call the house and my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy said he ain't home. And sometimes they would catch me. May I speak to Les Brown, please? Sorry, but he's not here. You sound like Les Brown. Don't you go there, big boy. But I want you to think about your financial freedom number. And whatever number that you pull up for yourself, I want you to multiply that 100 times, because it's possible that you're part of an organization, you have a vehicle and a system that can make it become a reality. And then I want you to think about some social cause that you believe in. I'm a 20-year prostate cancer conqueror because of God's grace and mercy. And thank you. And so I want you to think about some cause that you want to contribute to. Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. What is it that you're going to support? I support causes dealing with prostate cancer and breast cancer. My mother was a 22-year breast cancer conqueror. One of the causes I believe in is training entrepreneurs how to begin to learn how to support themselves and their families in this new economy, this era that the late Peter Drucker called the era of the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. You're here because most people don't realize what you know. In less than 10 years, 1/3 of the jobs that are available right now will be gone. They will be replaced by what is called mechanized intelligence. And so your being here is a part of a cause of helping people, helping families to be able to sustain themselves, to take care of themselves, helping families to have hope. And there's something wrong in this country alone where people come here trying to outswim sharks or outrun jeeps barefooted, and the suicide rate in this country has been higher than people dying from traffic accidents, people who lost hope. And you are an instrument, you are a tool, you bring as a voice of hope the opportunity for people to have not only hope but a vehicle to begin to sustain themselves, to take care of themselves. And when you speak, your voice means a lot. I never forget a gentleman who changed my life. I came in his class one day waiting on another student. I just eulogized him a few weeks ago, and he said, "Young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me." I said, "Sir, I can't do that." He said, "Look at me." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow." I said, I can't do that, sir." And the other students started laughing, saying, "He's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. His brother's smart. He's DT. He's the dumb twin." And I said, "I am, sir." And that class erupted in laughter. And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me and he said, "Don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." And you will be confronted with millions of people who's living within the context of the opinions that have been expressed to them. And when you speak, you have the opportunity to break the spell, to allow them to realize that they can become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in their lives. When you speak, you have the opportunity to help people to begin to realize that they are not victims of their circumstances, that they can do more, they can have more, they can experience more. When you speak, that you have the chance to expand their vision of themselves, of what's possible. I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left right now. Look them in the eyes and say, "Let's go big." Do that right now. Say, "Let's go big." Ladies and gentlemen, as you look at your goals, as you look at your dreams, I want you to take some notes. Write this down, please. It's possible. Given my circumstances, given my beginning, born in an abandoned building on a floor, when I was in 5th grade, I was labeled educable mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failed again when I was in the 8th grade. I have no college training. I could not have said to you that when I become an adult, I'll be traveling around the world, just spoke in 21 different countries recently: Stockholm, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Johannesburg, South Africa. I could not have said to you that I would produce several speeches for public television. I could not have said to you that I've been able to earn millions of dollars doing what I love to do, living my dream. Everything that I've done was a result of this industry, because it gave me a chance to develop myself. All the meetings that you have, the small meetings, the one-on-one, the large meetings, it allows you to develop your leadership potential, allows you, and I want you to write this down, to discover your power voice. You have a power voice, and it allows you to be introduced to a part of yourself that you don't know. I did not know this, Les Brown. Mike Williams, he's the author of a book called, and it's worth writing down, The Road to Your Best Stuff. The Road to Your Best Stuff. I was involved in broadcasting. He said, Brownie, yes. I had a big afro and wearing a dashiki. He said, you can do more than be a disc jockey here at WVKO in Columbus, Ohio. And I said, what else can I do? He said, you can do a variety of things, man. He said, all of us are born the same way, dumb, naked, and speechless. And so this is a time that I was introduced when multi-level marketing was just beginning. A guy named Bill Bailey had a company called Best Line Products, and then there was something else called, it's called Dare to Be Great with Glenn Turner. And so this is in the early stages. And so it gave me a chance to do something that I enjoy doing. I love people. How many of you love people? Raise your hands, please. I love working with people. And so it gave me an opportunity to learn how to begin to build a life for myself. Write this down. People need systems to allow them to create wealth. They can't do it by themselves. They need a system. You're part of a system that's tried and proven. And because of that system, my ability to learn how to present myself and to speak and to manage people, and most importantly, to manage myself and having goals and dreams beyond my comfort zone, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been, that it introduced me to a part of myself that I did not know. It challenged me. And I can tell you, based upon my experience in traveling around the world doing this for so many years, that it's very important to have a mindset of it's possible. Many people that you talk to and introduce to this business, they're going to say no. Why? Because they're suffering from possibility blindness in speaking. I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't think I could compete with people with PhDs and MBAs. I didn't think that I could compete with people who work for major corporations. I didn't think that I can create enough value and credibility that AT&T, who I spoke for 3 weeks ago, and DirecTV, who I spoke for a month ago, I didn't think that I could get IBM and Xerox and all these major corporations to hire me. Let me share something with you, and I don't even know you, but you have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. I don't know you, but here's what I know based upon my own experience. You have greatness within you. Here's what I know, that as you are in this room, that it's no accident. It's no accident. If you did not believe in your heart of hearts that you can do more, that you can achieve more, if you didn't believe in your heart of hearts that you can do what I've done and other people here and even more, you wouldn't be in this room. In fact, I only attract millionaires or millionaires in training. You ought to be applauding yourself after that. So as you think about your goal and dream, I want you to say it with conviction, it's possible. I wanted to buy my mother a home, and I was able to do that because I believe. My brothers and sisters, they didn't believe. I was a state legislator in Columbus, Ohio, using the principles that many of you have already been exposed. And I'll never forget, my brother called and my sister and said, Leslie, are you sitting down? I said, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Mama is sick and she can't take care of herself. We're going to put her in a nursing home. And I said, no. And they said, we knew you would say that. Margaret Ann, talk to him. Leslie, we have the best nursing home in all of Dade County. I said, I don't care. No. See, I had a problem. How can one woman raise 7 children who couldn't take care of themselves, but 7 grown people couldn't take care of one woman? I had a problem with that. And I said, no, we're not going to do it. And I shocked them. I was a state legislator, just got elected my third term, chairman of the Human Resource Committee and the Education Committee. I resigned the next day and flew to Miami. When I rung the doorbell, a friend of my mother was there. Mrs. Mildred said, "Mamie, Leslie is here." And I heard my mother say in the background, "I knew he would come. I knew he would come." How many of you have people in your life that you want them to know that you can be there for them? Raise your hands, please. Good. And this business, this system that you're part of will help you to do that. Let us say together, it's possible. I can have my dream. Yeah, see, they did a study of some 30,000 achievers around the world to find out what was the common denominator among them that enabled them to reach their goals. Here's what they discovered. 85% of them reached their goals because of their attitude. 15% because of their aptitude. We have out front a limited number of something that I've created called 4 stages to greatness: self-awareness, self-approval, self-commitment, and self-fulfillment. You have to retrain your thinking. Earl Nightingale said that you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. I heard when Jason was talking, I can't tell you the number of days that I drove and listened to the words of Jim Rohn. All of us have in life the opportunity to create a new life for ourselves. All of us have the chance to make our lives an example or a warning. Zig Ziglar, if you give enough people what they want, they will give you what you want. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. Earl Nightingale, all of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. I was retraining my thinking. In a book called Learned Optimism, Dr. Martin Seligman, it shows and it demonstrates between 0 and 5 that we form a word in our hearts. That word is either yes or it's no, based upon who's around us, who's speaking into our lives, based upon our circumstances. That's how we develop the vision of ourselves. And so you're here for a reason. I want everybody to hold your right index finger up, please. Hold it up. If you don't do anything else, hold that up. Ready? Good. Put it in your ear. Sometimes we got to be like little children. And listen to me. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You're here because this is a moment in destiny in your life. You're here because you're about to have a major breakthrough. You're here because you know that what you've done is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for you. You are here because you know you have the ability to do more, to have more, to experience more. You're here because you were born to be wealthy. It's your destiny. Take your finger out. I didn't want it to go in one ear and out the other. I got you now. I'm going to make you rich and there's nothing you can do about it. Let us say together, it's possible. I can have my dream. Here's the next step. Write this down. It's necessary. Yeah, see, a lot of people will say it's possible. We know that. But you've got to decide it's necessary. I was 10 years old. Mama, what is it, Leslie? I'm going to buy you a home. It was not an idle wish. Some of you are here because your goal is to transition out of the job where you are into something that you can control, where you can write your own check, that you can be your own boss. Why? Because you're not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of your life. And so that's why you're here. You're here because it's necessary. You've got to do this for yourself. It doesn't make sense to work on a job where you're doing 2 and 3 jobs for 1 paycheck and no job security. You're going to put in that kind of time and effort under that kind of stress, you know you need to build something for yourself. And so some of you are here because you've got to this point in your life where you've said, you're about to make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. You about to make me act a fool up in here. I got to get out of here. It's necessary that you do something that resonates with you. that gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning where you can make a difference and earn money too. There's no better combination than that, and that's the kind of organization that you're in, and that's the kind of leadership that you have. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, bring your energy level up. And it's necessary for you to step up. It's necessary that you step up your energy, that you work together. Write this down: collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Collaborative, thank you. Achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Those are the people that are winning. Collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And so you're competing for ears. You're competing for yeses. You're competing for individuals, entrepreneurs around the world. In order for that to happen, you've got to come together, you've got to work together, and you have to have some goals that you're going to work on to support each other to get to that next level and to get your part of the marketplace. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, let's dominate. Do that right now. Yes. You have to think in terms of that. You got superior products. You got great leadership. Now you make the difference. When I became a speaker, my goal was not be a speaker. My goal was to be the speaker. The same with you. You've got products that no one can dispute the impact and the value of helping people to develop a health consciousness and how it can help enhance people's health. No one can deny that. A technology that you have and that's available that no one else has, now it's about you. And when you decide that it's necessary, it's not about the products now, it's about you. When you decide that I'm ready to make this happen, when you make the commitment, it's amazing of what can happen. There are things that you can do that you don't even know. John F. Kennedy, 1961, called his cabinet together. They had a meeting. The meeting was for the purpose to determine what will it take for America to go to the moon. They were prepared to be there for weeks or for months as necessary. And he looked to Werner von Braun, one of the most brilliant German scientists of that day, and said, Werner, what will it take for us to go to the moon? And everybody was set for a long lecture about the cost, about the budget, about the personnel, about the technology. Everybody was set for something that would be a prolonged conversation and discussion. And he said 5 words. Werner, what will it take for us to go to the moon? He said, the will to do it. The will to do it. What will it take for you to have explosive growth in your organization where you are? The will to do it. What it would take for you to grow the business so that you don't have to go back to a job that's stressing you out, that on Monday morning, 35% of the heart attack rate in this country increases by 35% because people are getting ready for jobs. 86% are getting ready for jobs that they hate. What will it take for you with these incredible products to grow your income, to help the people in your organization go to the next level, to create financial independence? Let us say together, the will to do it. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I want you to say with conviction, the will to do it. What will it take for you to have explosive growth in your organization? What will it take for you to increase your recruiting efforts? What will it take for you to begin to decrease the number of people who drop out? What will it take for you to exhibit a level of leadership and impact and influence that people will admire? Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, I have the will to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the will to do it. My favorite book says, whosoever will, let him come. This is not a business that you convince people to do. You're not looking for people who need more money. You're looking for people who want more money. This is a time, as you're looking at yourself, looking at your goals and dreams, let us say together, it's possible. And you got to feed yourself on that every day. That's why you want to listen to motivational messages on a regular basis. Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. Everything that I'm saying, you've heard it before from Steve. You've heard it before from Joe. You've heard it before from your leadership. But faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. Let us say together, it's necessary. There's a conviction that you must have in your mind and in your spirit and your energy as you think about your goals and dreams every day, where you write them down and you review them and you read them and you talk to yourself every day. Let us say together, it's me. George Bernard Shaw said, the people that make it in this world, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. Let us say together, it's hard. How many of you know it's hard? Raise your hands, please. I knew it would be hard for me to get out of dashikis and the afro and learn a new language, a new culture, and compete against people who had years of education, PhDs and MBAs, and create a level of credibility that will allow corporations to reach over them to hire me. I knew that would be hard. And so I avoided it. I didn't think I could compete because I don't have a college education. And my mentor said something that's worth writing down. He said, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard building this business. In the beginning, you do a lot of things that you don't get paid for. But as you continue to build, you get paid for a lot of things that you don't do. It takes patience. Let us say together, patience. It takes persistence. Let us say persistence. Perseverance. All of those things are necessary in building a strong business, building a strong foundation. Don't look up for 2 to 3 years to see whether or not you're making any impact. No. When you make the commitment, you're willing to do whatever is required to see it through, to make it happen. There are people who are jumping from one organization to the other and wondering why they can't make it. It's not the product, it's not the business, it's them. They're not honoring their commitment to themselves. When you honor your commitment to yourself, and I'm telling you what I know, you'd be surprised. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you when you honor your commitment. Let us say together, it's worth it. What will make it worth it for you? You need to think about that and have it someplace where you can see it. 5 major reasons on why you are not going to give up. 5 major reasons that as a result of your spending your money and your time and flying cross country, and some of you came out of the country, 5 major reasons why, regardless of the setbacks and experiences that you have, that will want you to give up and think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world when you have goals and dreams. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. 5 major reasons on why you're not going to surrender, why you're going to keep on pushing through. Leslie, you are crazy. I've got to do this, Mama. Leslie, you quit your job at Sears. You had benefits there. Mama, I can't do that anymore. I've trained people. They put those people over me. They're making the money. I'm not. They're not going to give me the promotion that I have earned. I can't do that. I can't buy a home for you. I can't take care of you and do the things that I want to do for you and for my children. And I need to know, do I have it? Son, you do have it. You're a good son. You're very respectful. And you've done a lot for me. I said, I know, but it's not enough. No. I know I can do something else. I can't explain it, Mama. I can't explain it. God, I've got to do this for me and for you. You're not able to do the things you used to do, and I'm going to take care of you. I told you at 10 I would be here, and I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what the defining moments are for you. All of us have defining moments. Defining moments. I never forget when my mother was first diagnosed with breast cancer, and I took her to Jackson Memorial Hospital, and my she was a jovial person, and she said, "Hello, ma'am, how are you?" And the lady just looked at my mother with no facial expression and asked, "What kind of insurance do you have?" And I stepped forward. I said, "She has Les Brown Unlimited." I said, "I have an MBA, and that stands for Mega Bank Account." And were it not for this business, I wouldn't have been able to say that. I couldn't say that. This business helped me to discover things about myself that I did not know. It helped to develop me. And I'm saying to you, I don't know you, but when you challenge yourself, when you put yourself outside of your comfort zone, you become a risk taker. This God said, if you're not willing to risk, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you can't become your best. And if you can't become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? Helen Keller said something I love. She said, "Life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first." And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals, let us say together, it's possible. I can live my dream. Put your hand over your heart right now. Put your hand over your heart. It's necessary. If this is going to be my best year ever, it's necessary that I go all out, that I challenge myself, that I bring out the greatness in me. I know I can do more. I know there's more in me. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, "Bring out the greatness in you. Bring out the greatness in you." And the reason that I have you shaking each other's hand in this room, because when you leave here, the goal is to be unified. When you leave here, the goal is have new relationships and have new contacts. When you leave here, the goal is to have one dream, one vision. And as you're looking at where you want to go, one team. As you're looking at what it is you want to achieve, one determined effort to begin to spread the word about these products, using the products ourselves to demonstrate that we are the message that we bring, and have the vision that it's done. Let us say together, it's done. Serena Williams is a young lady I really admire, and she blew my mind at the French Open when she won. She accepted the award in French. During the time she was practicing with her trainer to win, she also had a tutor teaching her how to speak French fluently, because she said, "I'm going to win this." All victories take place twice, first in the mind and then in the without. And that's what I want you to do right now. I want you to think about who you have to be. Because who you've been, Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. That in order for this to be an explosive year for you, in order for your business to grow by leaps and bounds, you have to be a different person. You have to die to who you are now to give birth to who you must become. So I want you to think about that. What radical change will take place? What will be different about you? Think about it. What will change for you? What is it in terms of your attitude? In terms of the number of people that you talk to? In terms of your conviction? In terms of how you organize yourself? In terms of your drive and your determination? What's going to be different for you? You know, 3 words nobody ever wants to hear. Cancer is the most feared word in 7 different languages. Doctor looked at me and said, "You have cancer." I said, "Can you give me a second opinion?" "Yes, and you're ugly too." You know? I have problems. You know what I mean? My medication wearing off now. All right. So I had to change my eating habits. I go for a walk every day for that time now. I thank God. My immune system is powerful. It produces powerful white blood cells that kill quickly and permanently every renegade cancer cell that's in my body. I thank God I am healed. Every day I walk. I have this regiment that I put myself on. Winning is a regiment. It's a routine that you get involved in. I have a habit of reading 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. I listen to motivational messages every day. Why? Most people never achieve their goals because their heads are filled with head trash. And they are victims of what I call weapons of mass distractions. They're distracted by things in this world that won't take them toward their dream. You've got to discipline yourself. My son is here. Patrick, where are you? Where are you? My son is here. One of my sons always travel with me. There he is over there. Give him a round of applause, period. And they remember when they were coming up, I would go in the basement, and all they would hear the words of Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and Bill Bailey and different other speakers. I was saturating my mind. You have to do that every day because there's so many things out here that can snag your mind. And your mind, be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is the greatest time in history for entrepreneurship. You're deciding to be here. That decision, I can tell you, based upon me, if I had no idea that I had the ability to do what I'm doing now. I'm looking forward to working with some of you. That many times, and write this down, have someone in your life that can see what you can't see. This guy said to me, "Les, you can do more than what you're now doing." And I said, "Come on, Mike. All I knew at that time was radio." And he said, "That's all you bothered to learn." How many of you ever had somebody see something in you you didn't see in yourself? Raise your hands, please. I just couldn't see myself being on stage. I just couldn't see that they packed a stadium in Poland just a few months ago, 25,000 people. I just couldn't see it. Because you can't see it does not mean you can't do it. Eye has not seen. Ear has not heard. What's important is that you challenge yourself with these collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, reading and listening on a regular basis, working toward your dreams relentlessly. Things are going to happen. You're going to get a breakthrough. Things are going to happen for you. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you, you're listening to someone who used to change his voice when creditors called the house. "I'm sorry, mister, but Les Brown is not here." You sound like Les Brown. Don't you go there, big boy. I used to hide my car so creditors couldn't find it. You can't do that with GPS. I think that ought to be against the law. Oh my God. When I have money, I feel better. All in my body. I don't even need my medication. But I can tell you, things are going to happen. Between 40 and 60, all hell breaks loose. things happen to you, and things happen to people you care about. I'm so glad to be 70, I don't know what to do, you know. I still have things happening, but I can handle it better. But how many of you know during those times, it's some rough times? Raise your hands, please. It's some rough times, you know. And so here's what I know. I'm in a room of dreamers. Write this down. Bring your energy level up. Yes. You can't be like everybody else. You have to bring your energy level up. You have to have a vision. You've got, it's a difference between having the vision and the vision having you. You can't listen to the naysayers. You don't want to spend time trying to convince somebody to do this business. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You've got to be convicted in your spirit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to achieve my goals. You've got to determine, you've got to say to yourself, I'm greater than my circumstances. I'm greater than what I'm going through right now. All of us go through something. It's called life. It's called stuff. Charles Udall said in life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. And so when something happens to you, see it as a God-ordained opportunity. See it as something that's testing you. Let us say together, no test, no testimony. Yeah, you're going to have some tests in life, and so you want to have a testimony. Here's something else. Write this down. Develop the skill to tell your story. Your story is very important. It's very important. I start out at the top, to telling you my story. The two women responsible for me being here. One gave me life, one gave me love. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. I was born in an abandoned building on a floor. I was labeled educable, mentally retarded. I told you these things. Why? Your story is important for this reason. Number one, for confidence. Write this down. For confidence, for trust, and connectedness. Because when you're talking to people about the business, a lot of people advance talking about the business. No, you're talking about the business. You are the business. People are looking at you. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? So in a very concise way, you want to give them an idea of who you are so they can feel comfortable with you. And don't tell them the whole story, everything. We don't need to hear all of it, all right? I've had a session I'm going to share with some people, techniques on that. But it's about establishing a level of rapport. How many of you know that's important? Raise your hands, please. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? In the course of telling the story, what you're doing is, and write this down, you distract, dispute, and inspire. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. The story they believe is, in order for me to make it, I got to go to college, graduate, get a degree, and get a job, work for 40 years, and retire. How many of you know that story is over? Raise your hands, please. So there's a new story that you're going to bring them. And this story is out of your story. Your story now will supplant, will override their story that creates a new possibility. Now you are giving them the opportunity to create and to write a new chapter. How many of you know some people that need a new chapter? Raise your hands, please. And that's who you are. That's why you showed up. And you have the ability to do this. Write this down. You have an energy signature. There's some people you're going to resonate with, and there's some people you're not because of their energy signature and because of yours. So you've got to step up. And when you speak, you can't be casual. When you speak, you must speak with a knowing and with a conviction of, one, I've got something that has value for you, because you ask them some questions to find out who they are, to get some indication of who you're talking to. One of the things that gave me an advantage in this industry of motivational speaking is based upon the Dale Carnegie course, which is a great course. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. No. My course and how I train speakers and all that getting Find out who they are. All thy getting, get understanding. Who are they? Find out who they are. What is it that's stressing them out? What is it that's challenging them? And how you can be of service with what it is you're offering. Does that make sense? Okay, people can smell commission breath on your breath, all right? They can smell it. They know when you're coming up with something. But do you care about me? So you're coming with a story of achievement, of working with other people. You're coming with a story that can free them up, a story that has a key that enables them to unlock a new future for themselves. They'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. Distract, dispute. Through the course of that presentation, that conversation, you dismantle their limited belief system. Inspire, and you inspire them to choose to follow your example, to choose to build a new life for themselves. This work is real work. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Say it like you mean it. Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do with your life, young man? Sir, I want to take care of my mother. All my life, people have compared me to my brother, who's very smart, and my sister, who graduated from the University of Miami. As you know, I'm not as smart as my brother, but I want to take care of her. He said, you got to be hungry, Mr. Brown. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. I said, I'm hungry, sir. Tell me what I needed to do. What I need to do, sir, in order to make it. He said, you've got to become a better person. I want you to read this book. He gave me a variety of books to read and audio programs to listen to. I don't know anybody that knows as many quotes as I do because I've saturated my mind. And he said, I want you to practice OQP. Write this down. OQP, only quality people. Only quality people. He said, you got to separate yourself from people who don't have dreams, people who don't have goals, people who are not reaching for something, Mr. Brown. He said, most people never achieve their goals because they have too many negative, toxic, energy-draining people in their lives. And so, everybody repeat after me, please. Let go. Or be dragged. Yeah, there's some people you've got to let go or they're going to drag you down. Can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. And there's some people so negative they can walk in a dark room and begin to develop. Oh, behave, whatever. I took it myself. So you got to let them go. There are two types of relationships. There are nourishing relationships and there are toxic relationships. You earn within $3,000 of your closest friends. When I found that out, I got rid of every broke person in my life. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. You want to watch the leaders who come up and get awards and be recognized, and watch them and study them and learn from them, because success leaves clues. They're an example, not an exception. And that's what I had to get a hold of. I just couldn't see myself earning $25,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. That seemed beyond my reality. But since I've been working in this industry, I've done it in an hour and a half. So I'm telling you what I know, and it's in your future. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do it. And you have to step outside of the story that you now believe in yourself. And you have to create a new story, a new vision. And you have to say it to yourself all the time. I had to say it to myself when I wake up in the morning. I have to say to myself, I am destined for success. I am destined to make cancer history in my life. I am destined. I used to take 12 to 15 pain pills a day. I'm now down to 2 because of what I'm telling you. that I don't have to continue to reach for this. I've been working on my mind because, you know, if you don't have one thing, you're going to have something else. How many of you know that to be the truth? You know, I'm telling you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. You're doing well in the business, then the kids go crazy. Come on, give me a break. Somebody said, tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm telling you. You know, you either in life, you either in a problem, just left one, or headed toward one. I said, God, could you just help me? Just let me catch my breath for a moment. You know what I mean? I don't know. You say, well, you know, why? Don't ask why these things happening to me. Why not you? Who would you suggest? I got some names for him, I tell you. Oh my God! When I was first diagnosed with cancer, I was praying so hard. I used to pray in bed, then I started getting on my knees after they told me that I had prostate cancer. I got on my knees. And then they said my PSA was 2,400. Then I started laying on the floor. I said, Lord, if you help me get through this, I'll increase my tithes by 35%. He said, you said that before. I said, I know. But I mean it. I was called on Jesus, Yahweh, Melchizedek, Heavenly Father. I mean, you name it. I was chanting Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo. I was calling everybody. Sleeping with the Bible, the Quran. I don't know everybody. One time I was praying so hard I had to stop. I was crying. I just started laughing. You know, like God was saying, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. How many know you become very spiritual when you're in a tight spot? Raise your hand. Oh, my God. I'm just being honest with you. I'm turning red as I talk about it, but you can't see it. So, Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, I've done all I can do for you. You want to be a disc jockey? You've got to go out into the marketplace. I went to apply for a job at WMBM radio station on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. Young man, do you have any journalism in your background? No, sir, I don't. You have any experience? No, sir, I don't. But I'm good, sir. I practice. I visualize myself being on radio. Let me audition for you, sir. I just need a shot. He said, no, I don't have any job for you. How many have been rejected? Raise your hands, please. I was devastated with rejection. I went back and I said, Mr. Washington, they said no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. So I went back again. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? I said, yes, sir. Then why are you back today? I said, well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. He said, nobody was laid off or fired. Now get out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. Steve. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, weren't you here the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. He said, no one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, Aaron, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He says, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book says the greatest among you will be your servant. How many of you are serious about your goals and dreams? Raise your hands. How many of you are serious about having explosive growth in your business? Raise your hands. Very good. Write this down. Provide more service than you get paid for. Provide more service than you get paid for. Talk to 4 times more people. Impact them. Ask questions. Get to know them. What drives them? What is it that keeps them up at night? and how what you have, how it would provide a service for them. So I became an errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner and stand in control room watching them work their hands on the control board. Let us say together, I expect to win. I expect to grow my business. I expect to attract more people. I expect to increase my retention. And so on the weekend, the disc jockeys would come out to the parking lot and their cars be waxing clean inside out. They said, hey, who did this? I did, sir. How much you charge, young man? Oh, nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. Write this down. Give before you ask. Yes, I was giving service before I asked what I wanted them to become a part of. And that was my dream of becoming a disc jockey. And so they said, hey, Donna Ross and the Supremes are coming to town, the Four Tops and the Temptations. Here are my car keys. Pick them up and take them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. Thank you, sir. Be my pleasure, sir, to accommodate you. I would drive them all over Miami Beach in the disc jockeys' big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like I had some. Then one day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. He began to slur his words. He was about to fall off the chair. Saturday afternoon, and I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, rock, drink. I'd go and get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was a general manager, and I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in and have him come in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch, turn up the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes, and I called him back and said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, you go in there and don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get old Rock out of the way. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you got to be hungry. Do that right now. Say, you got to be hungry. Do that right now. People that are hungry believe if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. People that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry are persistent, they're patient, they're unstoppable. People that are hungry are willing to do the things that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry live a life of zero excuses. People that are hungry know that if you want to build something, you must have the will to do it. How many of you have the will? Raise your hands, please. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no accident that you're here. And this is a time for you to reflect. Some of you couldn't afford to be here, and yet and still in your heart of hearts you felt you couldn't afford not to be here. I don't know what your goals are. Here's what I know about you. And Steve and Sharon and Joe and Aaron and all the leadership here, they believe in you. When you think about this product that you have, it's going to be a blessing to so many people. Dr. Nagasawa, he's been a blessing to many of you. And I'm just getting to know him and his products. And I have no qualms in saying that because of people like him and his vision, I'm standing here. And I'm grateful. So I'll see you out front to introduce you to a product that I have. It's for the leaders and for people that are serious. How many of you believe that mental resiliency is important? Raise your hands, please. Very good. How many of you know that being unstoppable requires inner strength? Raise your hands, please. Listen to this on a regular basis. Write this down. Go to lesbrownmotivation.com. We only have about 70 of these. But it's something else I'm going to give you. The first PBS special that I had called You Deserve, then one called It's Possible, and another one called It's Not Over Till I Win. I'm speaking to 80,000 people in the Georgia Dome. LesBrownMotivation.com. Write that down. That's not going to cost you anything. I'm going to sign these out front. It's possible, self-awareness, self-approval, self-commitment, and self-fulfillment. I want to leave this with you. Coming here, I had a major medical procedure. And they said, "Are you sure you're going to be all right?" I said, "Just get me the mic." And I feel the love and the energy of your leadership and the people in the organization. I met a young man, I was on a flight, I wasn't feeling well, and he had just seen me, and where is he? He's here with his father, my homie from Miami. What's first name? Rick. That's my partner, Rick. Yeah, give Rick a round of applause. Yeah. So I was in and out of sleepiness, but I was feeling so uncomfortable, and he kept coming back. He said, "Mr. Brown." I said, "Yes." "Are you all right?" I said, "Yes." "Can I get anything for you?" I said, "No, I'm fine, but thank you so much for caring." Then when the plane landed, before I can get up, he came up and got my luggage down. Judge a person not by what they do, but what they do that they don't have to do. Yeah. Yeah. And to judge the true quality of a person when nobody's looking. Even if a person says no, show them respect and say thank you so much, because a no today does not mean a no tomorrow. Am I correct? If you show people respect and love and say, well, if someone you know looking for an opportunity to change their lives, I'm looking for that kind of person, and I appreciate this time that you have given me with you. And you'd be surprised when you have a choice between being kind or being obnoxious. Always choose to be kind. Always. Kindness will take you so far in life. So thank you, my buddy Rick, my homie from Miami. I'm coming down there to Miami to have dinner with you and your father. But I want to leave this with all of you. I feel so blessed just to be here. We are very blessed, and we have an opportunity to pursue our dreams. I've spoken in countries where I had to modify my language because they were not allowed to pursue their dreams. People who came to hear me speak, and they then went back to countries where they gave themselves 3 months to learn the language, and then they would introduce an opportunity. We are very blessed to have the opportunity to live our dreams. And to help others to do that as well. So I really see this as a mission. And I want to leave this with you. My mother used to love to hear me say this. Leslie, yes, ma'am, Mama, say that thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. Yes, ma'am. And I dedicate this to you and to your dream, to your team, to your vision, and to the goals that you have for yourself. It says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, power, or threat can keep you away from your goals, don't fret. Continue to move toward them. You have the power in you to live your dreams. You have the will to do it, to make it happen, to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you very much.